Now, the COVID lockdowns were harsh on all of us, but for children getting used to new school environments, it was particularly challenging. Now, spare a thought for children with complex educational needs. Vicky Byatt's daughter Rosie, who has autism, had just started secondary school when lockdowns lifted and normal schooling resumed. Rosie couldn't face going back. Paul's been hearing from Vicky about the challenges associated with their family's experience of school avoidance and the new hybrid school in central London where Rosie is now a pupil.
In my experience with my daughter, the avoidance was her inability really to attend school. Her anxiety was so overwhelming that we started from her having 1 day off a week and going in for 4 days, and over a period of time that turned into 1 day a week in school because she couldn't cope with being in school, and that manifested as lots of tears and tantrums prior to going to school, and panic attacks in school, panic attacks when she got home, sometimes before school. It was very stressful for everyone and very hard to watch as a parent. The autism for Rosie presents as quite severe sensory issues and issues with social interaction. She finds the mainstream school environment really challenging for her sensory issues. The anxiety became so severe that she couldn't attend school, and for a period of time even sort of couldn't leave the house, wouldn't come out of her bedroom. The issue for Rosie was because of the autism, she'd been masking at school, and then when she'd been at home with us, she had not had to mask. Going back to school then and having to restart the masking was just too much and led to her being unable to attend school full time is essentially, I think, probably what happened.
Let's talk about the COVID years and lockdown. Now, I appreciate for Rosie it could be quite a different set of challenges, but missing that chunk of development has affected lots of school children of all ages. Now, what options were you considering once the issue of school avoidance kind of came too much? Was homeschooling post lockdown on the cards? Was that something you thought about?
We did look at homeschooling, but it's not a skill set that either I or my husband have, and we didn't feel we were qualified really to be able to do that. So that was very difficult. We came across the school that she's at now, Portland Place. We came across this school via a friend of my husband's through work, and it sounded like the perfect option. It offered Rosie at-home schooling, but also with a one day in school a week. It was a complete curriculum, and as she would have been doing before, and it had quite a lot of support within it for her. So that really answered everything that was basically everything that we've been looking for was there in this sort of one place, and we couldn't quite believe it. But we spoke to them, and they were able to help us out.
What has the impact then been on not just Rosie's education, but also other areas of her life of being at this Portland Place school? Have you noticed a change in sort of how she feels about education and school now?
The change has been life-changing for us as parents and for her as a pupil. She still has challenges, and school is always going to be something that she finds difficult, but the format of the school is easy for Rosie to deal with. The fact that she's at home 4 days a week, she can set everything to how she likes it for her sensory issues. So that's fantastic. The social interaction is always going to be an issue for Rosie, and she finds the in-school days a challenge, but the school are aware of her difficulties and they do as much as they can to help her. I kind of feel what I feel, and my husband and I feel really was quite important, is when we first went to Portland Place with Rosie to see them, I really felt that they were really compassionate, and they really saw Rosie as a person. So behind all those difficulties and challenges and the anxiety and everything, they really saw the person that was there and her potential. And they were lovely with her and compassionate, and weren't scared by any of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, just been amazing. She's now doing very well at school, as you know. But bearing in mind where we started from, she's doing fantastically.
There we go, Vicky speaking to Paul there about her and her daughter's story.